Hi folks, Dave here, and today we'll go over the most important shot in tennis, the serve, and more specifically, what do the fastest servers in the world do differently from the rest of us? I'll be analyzing Aleksey Vayner's serve not only to explain how it is that he serves as fast as he does, but also to make a point that you do not need to be a top player in the world or even play on the tour to crack 130 and 140 mile an hour serves that you see here. I'll compare it with the world's top players, so to drive the technical points home. One very important prerequisite before we get into technique analysis is you must keep your arm very loose throughout the swing. Not only is the chance of injury magnified if you tighten up, but the tighter your arm is, the less racket head speed you'll be able to generate, and the slower your serve will be. Now let's take a look at this serve. As I replay in slow motion, the first thing to notice, and the only thing I do not recommend you try to mimic, is how the tossing arm is raised along the baseline. The arm twists slightly to toss the ball into the court, but raising it along the baseline ensures a full and instant shoulder turn. This is not some anomaly. It's just something not taught at your recreational club. But you can see how Andy Roddick, a popular example of a huge serve, does the same thing. Then, here is Marat Safin. Here is Andy Murray's toss. And here is Roger Federer's. We can do this all day, so let's continue. The second key to a big serve is the load. The load is characterized by the deep knee bend with weight balanced on 2 feet, and the racket head pointing up. Here are again examples of Andy Roddick, Isner, Roger Federer, Aleksey Vayner, all have a deep knee bend, which they utilize to explode up and forward into the court. The next element may be the most important one when it comes to the pace of the serve. Watch as Aleksey begins to explode up and forward into the court. His racket drops completely behind him, pointing down, and acceleration begins with the butt cap driving up at the ball. Here is the same thing done by Roddick, Novak, Roger Federer, and here is one of the world's fastest servers, Andy Roddick. Having analyzed hundreds of servers, I can tell you there is a direct correlation between how fast a player is able to serve and how deep their racket head drops behind their back. The fourth and last element I want you to focus on to generate a big serve is the racket follow-through. I think the worst mistake club pros make when teaching the serve is telling players to go up to the ball with their racket head. This is completely incorrect. If you want to generate real power, you have to rotate your shoulders very quickly directly into the court and almost throw the racket directly at your opponent. The load we discussed earlier will help you rotate your shoulders quickly and land inside the court. But watch the pronation or racket follow-through, and you can clearly see the explosiveness of racket head movement into the court, not up. And just a quick additional note here, notice that the left hand is not dropped, but is tucked into the body throughout contact. Now, for comparison, here is Novak right after contact with the ball. Here is Isner, and you can see not only how far he is in the court, but also how directly his arm and racket extend directly toward his opponent after making contact with the ball. Then we have Murray, and finally Andy Roddick. We can keep going through all the top servers, and it will always be the same thing, but I hope these few examples prove my point, and you'll now be able to practice following through directly into the court following a rapid shoulder turn. So there you have it, 4 key elements of the world's fastest servers. Enjoy!